After that, we have Garo Finishing Line, which is kind of weird. I don't even know if I should read the synopsis. It's kind of like it's set in a prosperous city named Russell City. It's like modern and they ride motorbikes and stuff like that. But it's kind of I was conflicted about covering Garo as far as like the staff and stuff behind it because Garo's very weird. Garo is like a franchise at this point. The first season is not the same thing as the second season, and then this is, I guess, technically the third season. But they're all different. Like, no one likes the second season, but everyone liked the first season. Well, not everyone, but most people like the first season. And then this season's like different. It's like modern city, and like on like motorcycles and shit like that, and it's really weird. So it's like they're all different enough that like you don't need to have watched the other seasons. But at the same time, you should probably watch the first season of Garo because it's like the most, like, they're all different, but the first season of Garo was so notable and started the whole thing really that you kind of need to watch the first season of Garo before watching any others. You can skip the second season of Garo. No one liked that one. But you can watch the first season of Garo and then you can watch this. And that's why I have it green for me. It's because I actually still need to finish the first season of Garo, but I'll probably watch this once I finish the first season of Garo. So I didn't bother to write staff. So it's weird because, like I said, it's not really a direct sequel, but you should still watch the first season, so it's kind of still a sequel. It's hard to cover. It's complicated. The next show is Time Bokan something. It's the second season of Time Bokan 24. So I didn't bother to write anything. You know if you want to watch it. Well, this is a nice little 3B right here. The next one is Yuki Yuna Wants to Be a Hero or whatever. Second season of that. So there you go. And then after that, we have Classicaloid 2, which is second season of Classicaloid. There you go. Easy. Boom. Sequels are easy. This is a season of sequels. We'll get to even more of them later. And then after that, we have Imotosa Irebe E, something like that. I don't know. It translates to A Sister's All You Need. Story follows the everyday life of Itsuki, a novelist and modern-day Pygmalion who works day in and day out to create the ultimate younger sister. He's surrounded by various other characters, a beautiful genius writer who loves him, his big sisterly classmate from college, a fellow male writer, a sadistic tax accountant, and his editor. They're all looked after by Itsuki's perfect younger stepbrother, Chihiro, who has a serious secret, which is the one line that actually got me interested in maybe watching the show, although that's not why it's yellow. It was still red. I'll explain why I changed it to yellow because it was originally red and I changed it to yellow. I'll explain why. So the director behind this is a guy named Shin Onuma. And if you don't know who he is, he's basically like the head honcho behind Silverlink. I don't know if he founded the studio. I think he did. But basically, he's the reason why Silverlink, when it first started up, was being labeled as like kind of a spin-off of Shaft Studio. Because I don't know if Shin Onuma worked at staff before that. I think he did. So he has a lot of like the quirkiness of staff behind him that he does in Silverlink, although he's not nearly as weird as some of the shit Shaft does. But like he did Baka Test and Happy. He also directed Chivalry of a Failed Knight, which I really liked and had some really cool directing. But I've noticed with Shin Onuma, because he also did other stuff, like he did, I cannot remember that show. There was that school where they were in like a farming school, not Silver Spoon, but like Ronin or something like that. I can't remember. It was like a show where they were in. It's the guy who liked the panties. There's like the one monologue that went viral on like as far as a video was the guy talking about how panties are incredible. That show, maybe it was Honin or something like that. They were in like a farming school. He also did that, and I've noticed with Shin Onuma as far as like the various stuff. He also did C3. The various stuff Shin Onuma does is that when he adapts something and the jokes are bad, he can't really make them good. They're still pretty bad. But whenever he adapts something and the jokes are fine or good, he can make the jokes even better. So he's the kind of director who can elevate good stuff, but he can't save bad stuff. And this seems like the kind of show where like it's not that great. So it's probably not gonna be like saved at all. It's still gonna be kind of bad. The only reason I changed it to yellow is because of his directing work on Chivalry of a Failed Knight. Although that seemed like the source material was good, so again, he elevated it. But there's a lot of interesting visual stuff he did in Chivalry of a Failed Knight that was cool. And that was like the last directing thing I think he did. So maybe a lot of that same visual style will carry over into this. I don't know. The series comp on this is being done by the original author, which was interesting to find out that the previous major work of this author of this light novel was Boku wa Tomodachi ga Sukanai, or I don't have many friends, which a lot of people like. It's a super different style. You'd expect a show like this to be done by the Orimo author, but no, it's the guy who wrote fucking I don't remember the acronym people have or the shortened version of the title, but Boku wa Tomodachi ga Sukunai. It's the same guy who did that, which is really weird. The music guy behind this did Ikamusume, both seasons in the OVA, Girlish Number, which is a show I need to watch. It's a show I didn't watch, but I heard very good things about, so I'm probably going to go back and watch that. And then what seems to be all of Hidamari's sketch he did the music for. Like, I looked at it, and it was like, yeah, this looks like every season end special of Hidamari sketch. And then also the music for Hentai Oji, and probably most relevant to this is did the music for Eromanga Sensei. So, probably music-wise, gonna be very similar to what was in Eromanga Sensei, I'd imagine, based on the synopsis. But I put it as yellow because, like, there's a chance that the show could be funny. I mean, I can't imagine it being good seriously, but I imagine it could be funny with the staff that's behind it. Maybe even the music's okay. And then also the line about the stepbrother having a secret. Like, I want to know what the secret is. If the show's shit, maybe I'll just Google what the secret is. It's probably just like a cross-dresser or something. That's usually what it is in these kinds of shows. Anyways, the show after that is Anime Guitarists. Anime Guitarists, which is... Or Gatari? Anime Gatari? I don't know. The anime centers on Minoa Asagaya, a new high school student in Sakaneko? Sakaneko Private High School. Despite being a novice to anime, Minoa's classmate Ariso Kamagusa invites her to make an anime research club at school. Through conversation with her classmate Miko Kunji, as well as various anime-loving upperclassmen, Minoa gradually gets hooked on anime. While they stand against the student council's continuous efforts to disband their club and they ignore the impending end of the world, they talk about anime, whether in Akiba or in real life sacred place anime settings or the hot springs. So originally I believe I had this as a yellow and I changed it to a green, and I don't even remember why, but I'm sure I will once I look at the staff. So the director on this has mainly done spin-offs, interestingly enough. For example, he did the 4 Coma of FMA Brotherhood, that little spin-off show thing. He did the picture drama thing for Attack on Titan. He did the Wake Up Girls spin-off thing that was like them being zoo animals. So like the weird spin-offs of the serious shows is like all the stuff that he's done. But an actual show, although it was a short that the guy did, was like a season or two ago. That were 3-minute shorts called Nora Princess and Stray Cat. Which I looked at and had like 20,000 people on Mal that watched, and I was like, that's a lot of people for a 3-minute short that I've never heard of. And so I looked into it and I was like, what the fuck is up with this? And everyone kept mentioning goats. And I was so confused. I was like, what the hell does this show have to do with goats? And so funny enough, I looked it up. It was on Crunchyroll. The 6th episode is literally 3 minutes of live action goat footage. And the voice actresses voice over the goats. And the whole plot of the episode is that they turned into goats. But nothing actually happens. It's them just walking around and they're like eating grass and they're like nom 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 in like the Japanese way where they're like nom 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 nom. It's so weird and meme as fuck. And then I understood why the view count was so high. So that was... looking up this director, found a meme that I didn't know about. So now I know about that. That was awesome. Anyways, sorry if I sound more nasally than usual. All this talking is making my congestion build up, so I'm like sounding more nasally the longer I do this. So I'm trying to go quicker so I can get through this. The series comp on this did both seasons of Nanbaka and New Prince of Tennis. He mainly wrote episodes for various stuff like Hunter x Hunter, Pokemon The Origin, and the first Digimon Tri movie. So, yeah. And then this is the reason why I changed it from yellow to green. I remember now. The music on this is being done by Keigo Hoashi, who did the music for Star Driver and Captain Earth. Captain Earth was whatever, but I love Star Driver. I love everything about Star Driver, especially the music. Admittedly, not every track on Star Driver, but like the serious tracks on Star Driver are just captivating and mesmerizing. I love those tracks on Star Driver. They're so good. But for other people, this is also the guy that did the music for the Disappearance of Haruhi Suzumiya movie. So that's probably what other people that aren't me will care about his repertoire. So that's why I upgraded this from yellow to green, because I wanted to hear the music, even though I imagine the music's going to be nowhere near what I want. Because like I said, it was the serious Stardriver music that I liked, not necessarily the relaxed stuff. The more serious, dramatic Stardriver music is, it's fucking incredible. I love it. Especially the one that escalates. Although the thing about Stardriver's music that I mentioned in my video on Stardriver I did was that the directing was so good. It was like the scenes were directed with the music in mind. Like he heard the music and then timed the scene so that it would escalate along with the music. Oh, it was so good. God, I love Stardriver. Watch Stardriver. No, Stardriver's not like Kino's Journey. Stardriver is a show that not a lot of people are gonna like. But the couple people who do like it will probably like it as much as, well, maybe not as much as I do, but will like it quite a bit. So like, in the chance that you are the person who likes Stardriver like I do, you should give it a shot. Stardriver's great. Anyways, then we move on to Tukar, an original anime by Silverlink commemorating their 10th anniversary. It focuses on two girls involved with competitive motorcycle sidecar racing. Not the type of show I normally watch, not my kind of thing. But like I mentioned before, I really like watching anniversary projects from studios because they tend to be passion projects and they put a lot of work into them. So I like watching them. Sometimes they're not good, but I like watching them anyways to see if they turn out to be good because they're always interesting. It's same with Noida Man. Although Noida Man is kind of different. Noida Man is just like, it's anime focused on a different target audience. So it's interesting in that regard. Anniversary projects are just, like I said, passion projects. So they tend to be very good. There's always exceptions. Sometimes they don't turn out well, but I tend to like them. I think the last one I watched was Bubuku Baranki, was a passion project, of an anniversary project. I like that a lot. Riyoga was fucking 11 out of 10 character. That's the only reason the second season wasn't as good, is because it didn't focus on her enough. First season though, oh my god, it's fucking 10 out of 10 Riyoga action, so good. Anyways, Tukar. Although what's interesting about this is it being the 10th anniversary project, Shin is not involved. I mentioned he's like the head honcho in Silverlink, and yet he's not involved in this, which is so weird. Maybe he's like behind the scenes or something. The director on this did Angie Vierge, which was that mobile game adaptation, the one with like the girls on the ship and like nothing happened. There was like that show made any excuse it could to put them in hot tubs and like pools. Like they were always getting in pools. Like they go on a mission and then they come back and they get in pools. And I remember, like, the third episode had, like, a dark twist. Like, some dark shit actually happened in that show. But then it didn't really go anywhere interesting after that, so I dropped it. Which is a shame. But mainly, the guy did key animation work for some other shows that people don't know or care about, so I didn't bother to write them. So mainly an animation background. So that could actually carry over into this. Because there could be some good animation cuts in this with a director behind this who is an animation background guy. Script and series comp on this is a guy who did Big Order, which is, but then he also did Gare Zero, which people seem to like. Did the script for fucking Boku no Pico, which is like, why is this guy doing the script for Tukar? Very weird staff. And then the music guy is the same who's doing Code Realize. So he did Costume the Elite last season. He did ACCA or ACCA. Interesting music guy. That scriptwriter though, why would you do a 10th anniversary project and be like, let's get the guy who wrote Boku no Pico. Although maybe Boku no Pico had multiple writers. Fuck if I know. I didn't actually check. I just saw him credited for writing the script for Boku no Pico and I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Next show is Kekkai Sensen and Beyond, which is the second season of Kekkai Sensen. You should watch this. The next show is Motzkin Ayame, which is the Ancient Magus's Bride. I'm gonna read the synopsis for this, but I didn't write much staff behind this, and I'm gonna explain why. Go away, fucking credit. Shizuya Hattori has lived a life full of neglect and abuse, devoid of anything resembling love. Far from the warmth of family, she has had her share of troubles and pitfalls. Just when all hope seems lost, a fateful encounter awaits her. When a man with the head of a beast, wielding strange powers, obtains her through a slave auction, Shizuya's life will never be the same again. So, it's probably impossible for you not to have heard of Ancient Magus's Bride lately. As far as Analyst says, it's the #1 most popular Fall 2017 show. It's the #2 highest rated Fall 2017 show as of recording this. The only thing it's beaten by is Shokugeki no Soma, which is unsurprising because it's the third season. Only people who really like the show are watching all the way 3 seasons in. This is a super popular manga that finally got an adaptation and everyone's super excited about it. It's being done by Wit Studio, who everyone knows did Attack on Titan. They're a huge animation studio. They're like probably behind Ufotable as far as like how much budget they put in their presentation visually. So people were super excited about that. So this is just like, it's the most popular show this season and I've heard amazing things. And you should probably watch it. It's the kind of show where even if you don't end up liking it, it's just so popular that like you have to watch it. If you don't end up liking it, fine, drop it. That's by all means. But like everyone's talking about this, and you don't want to get. It's like Attack on Titan, Hero Academia. It's like the most popular show of the season. You have to watch it, and if you don't like it, you can drop it, and that's fine. But like you just have to watch it just to see like, do I like it or not? You know. Although something important to know before you get excited, if you like fucking are clicking over right now, like I'm gonna watch this right now before I even watch the rest of this video. This has a prerequisite. Before this TV version, they aired 3 OVA episodes. All 3 are on Crunchyroll. And I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe they're a prequel to this TV version. So you need to watch those. So 3 OVA episodes you can find on Crunchyroll. Make sure you watch those first, and then you watch this TV version. And I guess that's even more fitting. Watch those 3 OVA episodes. If you like what you see, keep watching. If you don't, then don't. Although what I've heard is the OVA episodes are a prequel, so it may not be a perfect indication for the TV show, but story-wise, it's a prequel, and maybe it's one of those things where you don't have to watch them, but you probably should because it gives more information, more backstory. But I mean, there's probably a reason why they aired 3 OVA episodes and then like not like the last OVA episode came out in like September or something like that, or like July. I don't know. It was not that long ago. So it's not like they did the OVA episodes and they were like, maybe we should do a TV version. This was planned ahead of time. They did 3 OVA episodes and they're like, all right, now the TV version's going to air. Like it was already set in stone, this plan. So it seems like you should probably watch the OVA episodes. Maybe it's just one of those things where they didn't have enough time because this is a 24 episode show. Maybe they just didn't have enough time to include this information. So they're like, let's do 3 OVA episodes and then we'll do 24 episodes and we can fit that in the show. Maybe that's what it was. They just didn't have enough time to fit it, so they did it that way. But you should watch it. And then also Kino's Journey. Kino's Journey is like universal. You have to watch that. This is more of a show to watch to see if you like it. Although it's the most popular thing, so you'll probably like it. Everyone likes it. I haven't watched much about it. I've just heard very positive things. And a couple like animation reels here and there, and it looks very pretty. So just something to watch there in that regard. After that, we have, I'm just going to read the English title, Children of the Whales. Like actual whales, like whales in the sea whales, like that spelling. Chakuro is the 14-year-old archivist of the Mud Whale, a nigh-utopian island that floats across the surface of an endless sea of sand. 9 in 10 of the inhabitants of the Mud Whale have been blessed and cursed with the ability to use Saimia, special powers that doom them to an early death. Chakuro and his friends have stumbled across other islands, but they have never met or even heard of a human who wasn't from their own. One day, Chakuro visits an island as large as the Mud Whale and meets a girl who will change his destiny. So I really like the promo image for this as far as the art style, the coloring of it. I really like the colors. I like lots of colors, bright and shiny, happy colors. I like feeling good, man. So the director behind this did Lance and Masks and Occultic 9, but also Your Lie in April. Although to keep in mind, I don't think Your Lie in April is very popular for its directing. I don't think Your Lie in April had incredible directing. I think it was just like the writing people cared about. But still, credit where it's due. Although I was interested in this show, but not enough to put it at green. I originally had it at yellow. I changed it to green because the sound director on this is Jin Akutagawa, the guy I mentioned before I always keep my eye on. Guy who did Arslan Senki, ReZero, Shotgun no Shana, etc. So, great sound director. And this is the kind of show, a fantasy show like this, where good sound directing is going to be fucking great. So, definitely going to help in that regard. As far as, like, helping elevate stuff, is some good sound design. In a fantasy show especially. I basically just said that twice. I'm sorry. I'm an idiot. Series composition on this has done shitloads of stuff. She's done script work on Bleach and Naruto, although again, like I mentioned, with script work, probably lots of people did script work. Also did the composition and script for Masamune-kun's Revenge, which was a couple seasons ago. Did the series and composition, series comp and script for Sekko Boys, which was fucking awesome. And then did the series composition and script for Prison School. So she's been all over the board, man. You never know what you're in for. So kind of hard to really nail anything down there. But definitely a veteran as far as like doing a bunch of stuff. Person on music did Aoharu Ride, Kuromukuro, Lance and Masks, and Orange. Not the studio, the show Orange, the one with the time traveling letter. So music seems like it'd be pretty good. Maybe not necessarily the same kind of fantasy background, although maybe Lance and Masks. So not the same type of fantasy background music-wise, but hey, maybe a new thing that'll be good at, or she. I don't know who the music director is, a guy or a girl. But yeah, it's very interesting. The synopsis of the show reminds me a lot of Xenoblade Chronicles, where people like live on these giant stone titans. So very cool in that regard. After that, we have Cardfight Vanguard GZ, which is some season of Cardfight Vanguard G, 5th season apparently. Jesus Christ, if people are still watching this, here you go, is your 5th damn season. Holy crap. And then we have Blend S. The story centers on a girl named Micah who gets a job at a cafe where all the waitresses are given certain attributes, such as tsundere, or a little sister to embody while serving customers. The manager asks Micah to be the do-S, extreme sadist waitress, so she will have to adopt a dominant and aggressive persona. And I guess the point is she's not good at that. The director, it's their first real directing job, but they did animation directing and key animation for various episodes of various shows. Like they did some stuff on Penny and Stocking, some episodes of Kimi no Todoke, first and second season. So mainly an animation background, which I could see come in handy. Some good animation can help elevate a joke as far as like the physical portrayal of the characters can help elevate a joke with animation. So I could see that being helpful. The series composition on this, most notable thing they did was Who is Emoto? And if anyone remembers what the hell that show was, the show with the guy with the little sister, he didn't know which of the like 5 characters was his actual blood-related little sister. Fun fact, when that show aired and I was primarily blogging at the time, I made a bet. It was the twin-tailed one, and I was right. I'm a god. I guessed correctly. Anyways, that's pretty much about the only noteworthy thing they've done. They did the script for a couple episodes of Eromanga Sensei. So, I mean, there's that, but that's it. And then the music guy on this is the same guy as A Sister's All You Need. So, all the Hinamari sketch stuff, Eromanga Sensei, Ikamusume. So, definitely has done music on funny stuff before. So, background there. Seems like the kind of show that could work. That's why I have it yellow. I don't know if it's my type of comedy. I don't know if it's my type of comedy, so it's a yellow. And I'll read up what people are saying as far as like if people think it's funny or not. But I might just watch it on my own to see if I like the humor or not if I have time. And then after that, we have the 2nd season of Himoto Umaru-chan, the apparently now infamous show. I thought it was funny. I actually liked the comedy in Himoto. And I liked, I guess there were some jokes that didn't work. Most of the jokes I liked. I thought it was pretty funny. Had good animation, because I like Dogakobo. Dogakobo has pretty good animators. I thought it was good, and then lots of people just got mad. They got mad because they didn't like Umaru as a character, which is weird, because nowhere near as many people were mad about Kirino being a fucking bad character in fucking Oraimo, even though she was, like, literally Satan. So, I don't understand people sometimes. Maybe it was just a delayed reaction. People missed Kirino, and then it just fucking landed on Umaru. Not to say that she's a good character. Like, she's definitely a bad person. But a lot of the time the show, like, at least the show knows it. Like, sometimes it's played for laughs, but for the most part, the show, like, knows that she's a bad person. And, like, the whole point is that her brother's, like, the responsible one who's, like, should actually be respected, you know? The point is almost that she's, like, too much of an idiot. Like, it's weird. I don't know. I think it's fine. I think it, like, the problem that I had with, I don't have a problem with characters being shitty people. I have a problem with shows that have characters that are shitty people and then doesn't acknowledge that they're shitty people. That was my problem with Kirino. It's not that she was a shitty person. It's that the show acted like she wasn't a shitty person. They still like, oh my god, she's so perfect and beautiful and the brother's gonna love her and stuff like that. And it seemed like it had no awareness at all that she was such a shitty person, and that's what I hated so much. Whereas with Umaru, like, the show at least seems pretty aware that, like, she's not a very great person. So that's, I don't know. I'm wasting a little too much time on a sequel. I'm gonna watch it. I watched the first season. I thought it was fine. I thought it was funny. I watched the demo D video. I thought it was very funny, but I still think the show's funny. The next show is Wake Up Girls Shin Show. I didn't know Wake Up Girls was getting a second season, but it is. So here you go. But apparently it may not be a sequel. It says it's a new anime that will feature previous Wake Up Girls group members, but will also add new characters. So it may not be a sequel. It may be like a remake, sort of. So I don't know, but it seems like the kind of show that maybe you should only watch if you saw the first one. After that, we have Evil or Live. Weird title. In this modern society, a new kind of illness is striking young boys and girls. Loneliness, disbelief, and outrage push this generation to get more and more attached to internet and technologies. The experts called those symptoms net addiction. To prevent that, a certain rehabilitation facility has been set up to lead the young man back to the right path. Enrolled to treat his addiction, you're missing an H there, Hibiki has had no idea that this rehabilitation facility is nothing more than a prison. In this place where it's not permitted to escape, how will Hibiki challenge despair in this hell? So the interesting thing about this is not from a manga. It's adapted from a Chinese web manhwa. So, kind of weird. And then I looked up the staff and it's like all Chinese. So like there's no credits of other stuff they've done. So I'm like, I don't fucking know. I don't even know if it's easy to watch this or not. It could be easy. Like I don't know if this is watchable. Like that's why it's yellow. Like I don't know anything about this show. So if people could find a way to watch this and then I can get opinions, then maybe I'll pick it up. If we can't even watch it at all, then I just won't. I don't know if like Crunchyroll has it. I don't know if Funimation's getting it. I don't know if it's streaming for an English audience at all. Same with that one 3D CG show with the Sentai heroes. I don't know at all. After that, we have the English title being the best. My Girlfriend is a Show Bitch, which I guess fully would be a shoujo bitch. With nothing left to lose, ordinary high school student Haruka Shinozaki confesses to beautiful, diligent class representative Akihoko Kusaka, and to his surprise, she accepts. Kusaka takes dating as seriously as she does everything else, but does not quite get it. She pragmatically suggests activities that are too sexual. The whole joke is that, like, she wants to date but doesn't know how, so, like, she keeps doing things that are, like, too sexual. It's like the other end of the spectrum, where, like, two characters don't know how to date, so they're like, should we hold hands? I don't know, is that too much? This is like the other end of the spectrum, where it's like, we're dating, we should do anal. So, it's weird. It's definitely, odd. As far as, that's what I've heard. I haven't read it or anything like that. That's just what I've heard as far as, like, how the show works. Or how the series works or whatever. The director behind this, first directing gig, but mainly did key animation and animation directing for various episodes of various things, kind of like, the Blendes guy. He also storyboarded a couple episodes of ReZero, so that's kind of weird, but, mainly a, animation background. And then the series comp on this did the third season of Milky Holmes, only the third season, also did Date Alive and Kill Me Baby, so kind of a comedic sort of background in a way. And then the music guy has done basically nothing else, so music guy's pretty much brand new. So no idea what the music will be here. And that's that show. Sorry. I have it as read because I don't know. I from what I've heard, I'm not that interested. It doesn't seem like my type of comedy, but I'll listen to opinions and maybe it'll change my mind. After that, we have Inuyashiki. Inuyashiki? Yeah. I keep wanting to say Inuyasha, but it's Inuyashiki. This is the Noida Man A show of the season, all the way down here. Noida Man A tends to be the last show that airs each season. Ichiro Inuyashiki is down on his luck. While only 58 years old, his geriatric looks often have him written off as a pathetic old man by the world around him, and he's constantly ignored and disrespected by his family despite all that he's done to support them. On top of everything else, his doctor has revealed that he has cancer, and it appears that he has little time left in this world. Just when it seemed things couldn't get any worse, a blinding light in the night sky strikes the earth where Ichiro stands. He later wakes up to find himself unscathed, but he soon starts to notice that there is something different about himself. I don't know much about this despite it being adapted from a manga. I didn't want to look up much stuff because it's a Noida Man show. What I've said before is that Noida Man shows are targeted for target audiences that don't usually watch anime, usually older men or women or stuff like that. So just to go outside the normal target demographic. Almost all Noida Man shows have good character writing, so I always tend to pick them up just for their character writing tends to be good, even if the like actual plot writing doesn't tend to be there. But also the staff behind this is fucking great. The director behind this is Keiichi Sato, whose most notable works most recently that he's done, as far as like showing off his style, is Tiger and Bunny, and then the Shingeki no Bahamut seasons. Now, important to keep in mind, the writing in the Shingeki no Bahamut seasons hasn't always been great. Typically, the way they work is that you get about halfway through the Shingeki no Bahamut season, and then it just kind of coattails, and then it just plummets. But he was the director, not the writer, so it's not his fault. He's always had a great, like, fun sense of style with directing, especially Tiger and Bunny. He's really, I don't know how to describe it. It's very playful. Like, he has a very good sense of humor with his directing. He's always, the shows he always, like, does has, like, this great sense of fun to them. Which is kind of weird because it seems like a much more serious show, but I feel like it could carry over decently well. Interestingly enough, there's a second director listed for this show, whose name is Shuhei Abuda. However, while he's listed as a director on this show, he's mainly credited as 3D director on other stuff. He's credited as 3D director on Aka or ACCA, No Game No Life, Kabaneri, and Attack on Titan. And all of those shows, other than Aka, I still need to watch that. All of them had, I don't even remember 3D CG or 3D in like No Game No Life. Maybe like some of the like chess pieces they used or something like that were 3D. But like all of the shows had like very good implementation of 3D into 2D environments. And I think this guy actually did an interview where he mentioned that like the way you want to do with the 3D is like finding a way to implement it well into the 2D. I think a lot of the time with like Kabaneri is like the environments would be in 3D as they spun around and like the actual models would be 2D. And it kind of blended together pretty well, other than a couple times. So I imagine if there's any 3D stuff in this, like that's where this guy comes in. So two very, very good directors, like notable directors is like good at their craft, are behind this. Series composition behind this is, he did all the Ajin stuff. He did both seasons, the OVA, and the 4 movies. And then he did the series composition and the script for Seraph of the End, and then scripted some episodes of Kabaneri and Attack on Titan. So he's kind of been all over the place. But as far as like the tone of the stuff he does, pretty in line what I imagine is in this show. So pretty solid there. And then the person on music did The Great Passage, the 2nd and 3rd seasons of Kuroko no Basuke, Tiger and Bunny and the movies, Shingeki no Bahamut, and, I didn't know this, Ergo Proxy. So I imagine Keiichi Sato, the first director I mentioned, probably brought in the music guy, same because Tiger and Bunny and Shingeki no Bahamut, so he brought the same music guy over. I did not know that music guy also did Ergo Proxy, but the music for Tiger and Bunny and Shingeki no Bahamut have been very good. So music in this should also be excellent. So Inuyashiki shaking up to be a pretty solid show. Should be pretty good, outside of like any like weird shit happening. So yeah, there's that. And then finally, well, not finally, but the next show is Robo Masters, the animated series, an anime based on the DJL, I don't know, hosted Robo Masters competition, which is the world's biggest student robotics competition. I actually want to watch this, but the problem is I don't think anyone's going to stream it. If anyone can find out if Robo Masters is watchable to an English audience somewhere, anywhere, let me know. I actually really want to watch this. It seems watching an animated series on like student division of like a robotics competition, it just actually seems super cool. Like I don't know, it's just one of those like subjects I've always been interested in. It's like the student robotics competition stuff where they like build robots and they compete in various things, not always fighting, but like doing tasks too. It's always like an area that I've been interested in. And an animated series on it seems super cool. But because I don't know where I could watch this, I have no idea. So if anyone knows where I can watch this, let me know. I need to know. Because if I can watch it, I want to. And then after that, we have the 2nd season of Brigatsu no Lion, which is sweet. I like the 1st season. Gonna watch this season. It's another 22 episodes. Seems good. I heard some serious shit happens this season from people who've read the manga. I'm looking forward to it. And then finally, we have Itsudate Bokura no Kino wa Tensei Dara, which I don't fucking know. It's an adolescent romance romance takes another twist with the announcement of a TV anime adaptation based on the Kokuhaku Jigo Inkai Confess Your Love Committee series of Vocaloid songs by Honeywork. So it's an animated series based on music, so I didn't really bother to write staff. It's kind of like, they're basically, I don't know if it counts as a music video because I don't know if the song's gonna play as like they do stuff, but it's based on like the lyrics of that music thing, I guess. So it's kind of weird, and it's airing like 43 days from now as of recording this, and it's only 6 episodes long. It's probably a short. Seems like that kind of show not many people are gonna be interested in, especially because it starts like halfway through the season. People are gonna be like, "What, a new show?" I don't know. It seems if you're interested in Vocaloid stuff, this seems like your kind of thing. Like that seems to be the target thing there, which is why I didn't bother to write stuff. It's like if you're interested in Vocaloid stuff, this is your jam. If not, whatever. But yeah, that'll do it for this season. That's the last of the TV shows. There's also specials and movies and shit, but I don't really care to cover those, honestly. And I already want to rest my throat, and I'm getting congested and shit. So yeah, that took a little longer than I would have liked, but then when doesn't it? I'm glad I finally got to do another season preview, even if it took longer and there were issues and shit. But hey, what do you know? I thought I was gonna mention something, but I don't remember what it was. Yeah, thanks for watching. Next thing that comes out should be scripted. I wanted to get something scripted out before this season preview, but then stuff got in the way, and then I got sick, so shit just gets in the way. It's unfortunate. But I am hoping to ramp up video production on some stuff pretty soon because of reasons. Why am I even talking about this? Sorry. I need to end this fucking recording. I need to stop before I'm gonna wake up tomorrow and be like, oh god, I'm really sick again. I fucked myself. Anyways, that was the season that's airing. I hope you liked the season preview. This is a preview of the new recording style because I have to do a different way because the image is gone that I normally did it. Hopefully it doesn't suck visually, but it probably will. I'm really sorry. But yeah, thanks. See you in the next video, which should not be too much longer from now unless I got more sick by doing this. But see you then.